allergic reaction with my lips, so if they're really red, it's not red lipstick, it's just, I got issues, okay. So just first and foremost, thank you, Imani, and your team, and the school, of course, for inviting me. I love this type of work. It's not even really work. I love talking to the future. So, I don't know, y'all know you're the future, right? And the future is now. So, I love having the opportunity to be on the hot seat, listen to what y'all gotta ask me, and hopefully I can come up with an answer for you. I also have my son here with me, and I heard that you may have a question or two for him. He doesn't like the hot seat, but let's put him in the hot seat too. So, thank y'all, and I'm born and raised in Portland as well, so I kind of have some ancient history about Portland. So, once again, thank y'all for having me.
I ain't going in that hot seat. Got me messed up. Got me mistaken for another
First question
person.
is, if this was your last day on Earth, what would you do?
Oh my gosh. Okay. If it was my last day on Earth, is this work or y'all want mic or no mic? Mic. Okay, thank you. All right, last day on Earth. Wow. Y'all just wanted to start real early. I think the first thing I would do, the first thing, I'd wake up, of course, as usual, hopefully, I'd wake up and give prayers and thanks to the Creator, because I think everything that you do and every opportunity that you get to wake and breathe, you have to say thank you, right? So whatever your belief system is, I think just give it up to whatever woke you up, right? We all woke up, some of us, mom had to wake us up, dad, somebody, alarm clock, but whatever caused you to wake up, be grateful. So I think I would start there. And then I'm taking the first plane to Miami because I am a Miami Dolphin fan. Anybody like football? Anybody like football? Okay, maybe not. It's okay. I just like the colors, orange and teal, and I like dolphins. So I would go to Miami, and I would probably just try to swim with the dolphin, and then maybe come back home, bring my son with me, and say hi to him, and then I guess I'm done because that's my last day on Earth. Like, I don't know what else I would do. So I'm gonna give y'all that same
Can't
question.
take me to Miami? Why can't I go to Miami?
I gotta go by myself, and then I come get you.
That ain't fair.
For the second question, why was Devontae's death the motivation of the youth program? How did that power you to create this organization?
Good question.
Thank you for that question. So Devontae Lightfoot, for many that may not know, I was actually a teacher. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in here? Is that the grades? Okay, awesome. So I was a middle school teacher. So any teachers in here, I'm sending you love and kindness, okay? That's just for us. But I was a teacher in middle school. It was a charter school inside the Blazers Boys and Girls Club right off of MLK. And Devontae was one of those students. Your teachers will probably tell you they don't have favorite students, and we're not supposed to. However, Devontae was one of my favorites, and he came up in a lifestyle. He had older brothers that just kind of got him introduced to streets too early. So I had him in 7th grade. He was an artist. He was talented. He was a rapper, musician. He was just a young, bright mind, yet had heavily influenced from older people, right? So when he unfortunately was shot 2007, January 7th, 2007, I was actually at the site where he was killed. And at that time, I didn't know Devontae was I didn't even know who that was, right? So I'm there, I'm at the scene with community, and it wasn't until that night that I got phone calls from his former students who said, Miss Muhammad, do you know that that was Devontae? So you can imagine being somewhere, not having a clue of what really was happening, and then 4 or 5 hours later, finding out that that was someone that you knew, but more importantly, someone that you had a deep connection with, right? And so that right there, to answer your question, was a fire that kind of sparked in me, because a lot of your teachers are probably gonna expect you to come back 10 years, 15 years later and say, hey, you know, teacher so-and-so, I graduated, or I got married, or whatever whatever your life has for you. But to find out that one of your students is no longer here after only a year working with him, that is what shook me and kind of rocked me. And so 3 weeks after his death, we held what we now call the first youth summit. And the youth summit consisted of, just like this, an audience like you, a panel, folks asking each other questions, although the adults were in the audience, and we let the young folks kind of run the platform. And so from there, Mike Capes, I don't know if y'all know Mike Capes, he's an artist. He was a sophomore at Roosevelt High School at that time, and one of the adults asked him, what do you all need? What do you want as young people? And his answer was, we need more events like this. And at that time, when I heard that, I said, well, heck, excuse me, I can't cuss. I was like, well, heck, that's my calling. And from there, that's when I started to just continue to work with community, work with young people. I had only taught for 3 years. I stopped teaching because that's a work of the higher calling. And I decided to just work with community and try to change the trajectory of young people's lives by having positive environment, positive events, youth talent shows, workshops, just a way to bring a different vibe than maybe what we're getting in our schools, right? So that's really what started it. It was a moment of sadness and despair, but I also believe that when we have an opportunity to have something like really dark happen in our lives, if we're still alive, we have an opportunity to rewrite that story and rewrite that history. And so that was my commitment to Devontae and his family, is that yes, in his death, what could we bring out that changes the world, you know, or changes Portland? So that was really the energy behind that. Thank you for that question.
What does Black Joy mean to you, and how do you celebrate Black Joy?
What does Black Joy mean? Is that what I Black, yeah. Just make sure I heard it. I heard Black Joy at first. And I was like, wow, Black Joy. So I just want to say joy in and of itself. So the word joy, happiness, you know, people can inspire us. People can give us ideas and make us feel good, but all of that has to come from truly within yourself, right? I don't think I can give you happiness. I don't think anyone can give you happiness or joy. You have to find what makes you happy. And as young people right now, you all are figuring out what you like, what's your favorite color, you know, do you like artwork, do you not, what's your favorite food? You're figuring all this stuff out. And so as you experience life, you will find the pieces in life that make you happy. So when you ask me about Black joy, I think about Black excellence, and I think about this idea, this concept about embracing all cultures, but of course, as a Black woman and a mother of a Black son, I'm very much about our culture, not to say our culture and excluding others, but if we don't have a sense of identity of who we are as Black people, as brown people, and as indigenous people, because we live in a society that tells us otherwise, if we don't uplift ourselves and have a sense of identity, then how can we truly have joy within ourselves and in our being? So Black joy to me is joy in general, right? But it starts with self-knowledge, it starts with self-identity. And all of us come from different cultures, different backgrounds, but if you don't know who you truly are as a person, you really have a hard time having joy and happiness in your life. So that's my very long answer to your question. I will say that it is important that we all embrace each other, right? And what makes me happy may not be what makes you happy. But there's a sense of understanding, and then there's a sense of compassion that as long as your happiness doesn't cause harm to someone else, then we should all be able to embrace each other's joy and happiness.
The next question is, why do you like coaching basketball?
Okay. I just must say, Kamari, you're right. This is the hot seat. I'm sweating and all. Okay. Why do I like coaching basketball? Specifically basketball. So I love basketball. I just like the sport. I played basketball probably as early as 3rd or 4th grade. And just to share a piece of my upbringing, I didn't have the most consistent upbringing. I have a white father and a Black mother. And I also had a family member who battled mental illness. And it started very early in my life, probably around age 9 or 10. Not myself, but obviously experiencing a person close to me having mental illness. And a lot of things in my life I felt like were happening to me, and I had no control over it, right? I had to go live with my dad, I had to go live with my mom, or, you know, all the things that may feel like I don't have control of my life. And when I found the orange little ball, a basketball, that became something I could control. And I could go to the local park, I could go to Sabin, I could go to Irvington, I could go to whatever park was in my neighborhood and just shoot the basket, right, shoot the ball. And when I saw that I was actually kind of good at it too, had a little bit of talent with me, then I knew I could kind of control that narrative and control my life as far as I wanted to go, if that makes sense. And so it took me all the way through college. You know, I was able to play college basketball. I was able to travel to Amsterdam when I was 16 years old. I played with the international team as a junior in high school. I don't know how I got on an airplane for 9.5 hours to go play basketball, but my mom and my dad let me go, and that's what I did. But basketball has, as much as it was a moment of peace for me and an opportunity to kind of control my life, it also has opened up so many doors for me. My friendships, my relationships, team sports, right? Learning how to work with people. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes working with people is difficult. Can y'all relate? Anybody? Y'all have to do like team projects? Yeah, raise them high. I know. You have to look at the person, just, close your eyes and be like, yes, it is difficult to work with people. So team sports helps with that, right? I'm not saying it makes it, easy, but team sports helps with that. And so for me, I was away from basketball. Back to your original question. Y'all know I can talk, clearly. Back to your original question. I was away from basketball for about 10 years. I had my son, and so I was devoting all of my energy into like work